So there was an article that broke yesterday. I think it might have been the Star or maybe the Sun, and it was reporting that Tommy Fury, who is the brother of Tyson Fury, was considering or was looking to quit the sport of boxing, essentially retire 2-0, leave boxing, and then go into reality TV. Because Tommy Fury, for those who don't know, which I'm assuming everyone does, was on the show Love Island, reality TV show. Look, I don't watch reality TV. I've no idea what the show's about. I can imagine, because I have people tell me about it, that it's to do with people dating stuff. That I don't watch that stuff. Reality TV just bores the crap out of me. I don't watch any of that shit. There's not much I watch on TV other than boxing and a couple of other sports. Darts, F1, football, and a bit of the Grand Tour. That's really it. That's the height. That's the height of my TV watching. Don't watch much else. So that's what they were saying about Tommy Fury. Now, Tommy Fury came out today and he released a tweet saying, just to clarify, that I have not quit the sport of boxing. The sport has and continues to be a driving force in my life, and I have goals and targets that I want to and will achieve in the sport. God bless. So he shut that kind of rumour down straight away. Now, some people have said that, and I don't know who reported, I think someone might have put it up on Twitter, that if Tommy Fury was to leave the sport of boxing, it could essentially cause a massive rift in the family, because the Furies are, as John Fury would say, they're fighters. They live for fighting, they live for boxing. Hughie, Tyson, I know Hughie's not a brother of Tommy, but they're all fighters. So I seen someone report that, but I can't imagine. I don't know the Furies, but I can't imagine that they would be, too upset if Tommy was to walk away from the sport. I've only ever seen Tommy Fury's last fight, and he's a light heavyweight. He's not a heavyweight, unlike his brother. So the things he does differently, it's very soon to judge what I think of him, whether he's good or whether he's not. But you can't really judge someone 2-0. Coming from not much of an amateur background. If it was someone like a Lomachenko or someone like that, you can judge them because you know what you're getting. But with someone like Tommy Fury, it's very hard to judge where they're kind of at. It's only if they look dreadful, like a Harley Benn or a Steve Collins Jr., then you can say, right, they look dreadful. They're going nowhere. So with Tommy Fury, do I think it'd be a bad move if he left the sport of boxing? Yes and no. I think right now at this minute in time, I think that his popularity has skyrocketed. Because if you go on Instagram, I think before Tommy Fury signed up for Love Island, or before he was on Love Island, I should say, he had something like 3,000 followers on Instagram. Now he's got 2.6 million. It's an insane amount just for being on a show. And to be honest with you, the following he's getting means that that's going to generate into ticket sales. He could probably fill out the MEN in his next fight against a journeyman. Seriously. And people who know nothing about boxing will go to that just because that's Tommy Fury from Love Island. It shows kind of how almost sheep-like human beings are, because they really do tend to just follow whoever is kind of popular, if that makes sense. Like, I liken it to this. If you got 100 people and you gave them all 10 quid, 100 just random strangers, and you said, right, this guy who works in a bank is going to walk down O'Connell Street and we're giving you all 10 quid. I want you all to go with a camera, film this guy, take pictures of him. I'm telling you now, those 100 people you paid would do that. You'd have probably about 50, 60 more people who weren't paid who would go and tag along with them taking pictures, because they wouldn't even ask who that guy is. They just see a guy with a load of people behind him taking pictures of him. They'd automatically assume he's obviously somebody, so they just flock towards him. That's kind of how it is with human beings. Like, you see loads of people, who were really famous for doing absolutely nothing. Seriously. And people just, flock towards them. They'll do anything almost to be around them people. And Tommy Fury, he's a boxer, obviously. I mean, it does help that his brother is Tyson Fury, and it does help that he made his pro debut, only I think 2 or 3 weeks removed from Tyson's fight against Deontay Wilder. So, straight from the get-go, he's been kind of, lucky in that sense. But, doing this with Love Island, that's going to bolster his career sky high. Like, seriously, he could probably fill out the MEM in his next fight just from people who want to see Tommy from Love Island. And like I said, I don't watch Love Island. I don't really know what it's about. So, from that kind of point of view, I think he needs to stay in boxing a little while longer. But if he can make money, if he can make better money outside of boxing, doing reality TV, I would be the first person to say just go for it. Because boxing, from the highest level to the lowest level, it's a sport that has a lot of politics, a lot of shenanigans, and, it's obviously dangerous. We've seen 2 fighters within the space of a week and one another die in the ring. It's boxing I love, it's a sport I love, but it's a brutal sport. It really is. It's unbelievably dangerous, and I think that you really do kind of have to not be all there in the head mentally to do it. You know, maybe that's one of the reasons why I love doing it. You know, I love getting in the ring and sparring. I love fighting. I don't know why, but I think that's what most boxers are like. They just don't. It's just something in them that makes you want to do it. So my way of looking at it would be like, if you can make money, if you can make a decent living, you can make good money outside of the ring, go for it. Like, it's your health at the end of the day. Your health is your wealth. And as I said, like, there's so much politics that goes on at the highest and the lowest level. I was at a small hall show in Cork a few weeks ago, and a buddy of mine, Owen, was meant to fight at, I think, 7:30. His gloves all and on, warmed up and everything. And the guys who were running that show, because he was the away fighter, came and said, actually, you're not on till after 11 o'clock. He'd already had the gloves on, couldn't take the gloves off. And he was just sat there waiting around all day. It wouldn't have made a difference. He's a nice guy, but he probably still would have lost. But it didn't help the fact that, you know, they made him wait. They made him go through all these hoops. So, you know, at the highest and the lowest level, these things kind of happen. And, you know, it is what it is, like, at the end of the day. So my advice to Tommy Fury would be, you know, definitely stick around for the time being, because you are going to sell out some arenas, definitely. Even if you're fighting an absolute no-hoper. It's just such a good look, because he's been in Love Island. It's just boasted his career never ended, nearly, almost skyrocketed. And as I said, there's so many people out there who are famous for doing absolutely nothing. And, you know, just, there's some people, you know, who are absolutely terrible people, like Katie Price, and to name a few, like, who've just done nothing with their lives, but because, you know, they've a name, people still talk about them. You know, there are people who marry famous people, and, you know, they, you know, get elevated to levels of fame, you know. So, you know, that's kind of what I got to say on this. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave a like, subscribe if you're new, and as always, I will talk to you after.